The generation now coming into GP training, are they a different breed? They have different expectations from the old dinosaurs on the other end.
People who leave medical school now are leaving with a huge amount of debt. When this group of who now become doctors are making their choices, that there's very different pressures that they're having to respond to than the people who were graduating as doctors 10 or 15 years ago. I think that we need to have some very real sympathy to that debt, and we don't want them to be making choices that are in response to this enormous burden that they're already carrying.
There's a huge expectation now and a desire for flexible careers, and I think portfolio careers. I don't know anybody who just wants to work full time, kind of 8 or 9 sessions a week. I think that portfolio career is the sort of phrase on everybody's lips, and I think that there is perhaps as well a general ethos that people, I think, look for more a work-life balance now, and it's not just women, but actually males as well, are looking at family-friendly careers, kind of actually looking at ways to sort of work to live rather than live to work, I suppose. I think as well, my generation are aware that we will probably work till our early 70s, so it needs to be sustainable. And again, I think certainly the current state of general practice, full-time GP at the moment, is not sustainable. And if you become, a 9-session partner, you'll burn out and get ill in your 40s probably. So I suppose perhaps that's a factor that pushes people away from general practice, or certainly away from full-time partnership.
I mean, one of my colleagues absolutely loves working, spends all the time doing the out of hours when he's not doing 8 or 9 sessions in the practice. And he thinks that, it is a workforce issue. If everyone wants to work 4 sessions a week and do portfolio this and that, who's going to see the punters? How are we going to provide?
I saw a video, I was from the Royal College of General Practitioners in Australia, and they had a wonderful video on YouTube. It was a wonderful demonstration of what being a GP means. Kind of contrasted with the skydiving video where it was someone ticking a box, and I think getting that across, what it actually means to be a GP.
I don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you at all.
So I wonder if we've maybe
that video was only out for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and it was only to start it. The thing that's really worked is the near peers, the ambassadors. People talk about why they want to be a GP. If you look at the research out of Exeter at the moment, less than half the universities have got an academic department of general practice. Some universities view GP placement, you're taught consultation skills. And therefore what you see is this archetypal or stereotypical GP who teaches you how to talk. What we need is high quality teaching in general practice of the discipline of general practice.
It's interesting when we talk about the actual quality of GP placement as well, because I think the worst thing you can do is just get medical students to just sit in the corner of the room and not be engaged. And again, one of the big factors for me in my final year medical school placement was that we had a separate consulting room for at least part of the day, and that you could actually see patients and start to develop. Because actually, despite the stereotype that all GPs are stupid, actually it's tremendously intellectually challenging to have to just use your history and examination to make a diagnosis, isn't it? And I feel much more awake and engaged now I'm in primary care than I ever did in my hospital jobs. And I think what we need is to actually get medical students to experience that, particularly towards the end of their training when they're perhaps more competent in. And I think that the best advert for general practice, the good aspects of general practice, is just to actually allow them to simulate doing the job.
The earlier that you're starting to give people opportunities to see behind the surgery doors, to see what actually happens without the television cameras and glamour and people running around, to see the day-to-day reality of general practice, and to have somebody talking them through it and explaining some of the intricacies of what's happening. I think at that stage people can start to believe in general practice as a career.
And actually the essence of the consultation and the essence of actually being a GP, I think is quite a magical thing really, and actually it really is all about that relationship and about what you can do for the person in the room in that moment. And I think we just need to get students experiencing that and enjoying it, and I think when you do that, the career sells itself, doesn't it?